So this is me and Evan playing Diablo 3. We're just starting out right here. We're just taking a quest. I don't care about the story very much, so I beat it like twice. So Diablo's about pretty much running around, leveling up, wrecking demons. It's pretty much, well, it's based after, it's pretty much the same gameplay Diablo 1 and 2 had. It's got some similarities to like the Baldur's Gate games. It's pretty much just a dungeon crawl. You don't really need a whole lot of intelligence to play it. It's pretty simple to just lay back and tap the A button, but that's what makes it fun, is because it's so simple and easy to use. It's intuitive. So how the combat works is, depending on whichever character class you have, you pretty much are just gonna, you can see there at the bottom, we have like the different buttons with a symbol above them that symbolizes a different skill. So like, my guy can throw out frogs that explode and send out demon dogs, and like Evan's guy is like martial arts man, so he's twirling the staff around and making holy bells fall from the sky and all that stuff. And a big part of the online community too is strategizing with other people, because certain classes work in tandem together, like better with one another. Like, our two classes I feel work pretty well together, because Evan's guy is more about close quarters crowd control, where my guy's more about standing back and supporting him by inflicting stuff to the enemy, different effects and whatnot. This is just a quick overlook at the inventory. It looks daunting, but it's actually pretty simple once you get used to it. It's nothing too overly complicated, nothing you can't handle. Basically, you just gotta know that a green arrow is good and a red arrow is bad when you're equipped and stuff. One of the things I do really enjoy about Diablo is there is a lot of customization that goes along with it. Like, if you don't like how a certain armor looks, you can go to a merchant and they can change the appearance of it. So, if you did want to roleplay and make your character look a certain way, you can do it. The same goes for the weapons. You can change the appearance of those too. And like I said, I do like how Diablo 3 does encourage that kind of customization, because a lot of games I feel are starting to steer more away from that and just kind of making everything generic, and it's not your own anymore. But we're still just running around. Some big old fat guys that explode. Kill them. We're supposed to head up to somewhere to get something. I don't quite remember what it is. I've played this game so many times now. I don't really care about the story anymore, like I said, so I don't worry about what's happening. I just worry about getting from point A to point B. Another thing I enjoy about Diablo 3 is there is a really good enemy variety. Throughout the whole game, you never really see the same enemy a whole lot. Like, it's not just recoats of the same enemy, they're all different. Most of the time they'll spawn with different spells or effects in place, so it's always different. You never know what you're gonna fight when you're playing. Same goes for the dungeons. The dungeons are, for the most part, all randomly generated, so you go in a dungeon and it could be completely different from the last time you played the game and went in that same dungeon, which obviously adds a lot of replay value to it, which again is something I feel a lot of modern games are starting to kind of forget about, because it's not business savvy for them to do that, to include that kind of replayability. So I think that's kind of just what makes Blizzard a good developer in general. They're old school. They know what their fans want and they know how to give it to them. That's why, you know, this is such a success. That's why StarCraft is a success. That's why World of Warcraft was a success. But you know, they know how to keep games classical. I mean, because this is really no different than Diablo 1 or 2, save for some graphic upgrades, and I think, you know, obviously the combat was refined more and the skills were refined more.
He brought many nobles with him, and nobles, oddly enough, want noble crypts. So I showed up with my shovel, thinking to make easy profit by digging a few holes. There's no stopping their demands around here.
That's great.
I eat, sleep, and breathe dirt, it seems.
That's the other thing too, these games are very melodramatic.